Good afternoon, student. I hope you all have understand the previous video in which we have talked about the digestion of food. Okay, we have completed up to the digestion of protein in the stomach. We have seen all the reaction. Okay, so today before going in detail, first let me discuss all the important points, okay, which we have done in the previous video. So here we will start with the important points. Okay, so the very first important point which we have to discuss is that digestion begins in mouth, both physically and chemically. Now you are knowing about it, that what is physically and chemically digestion. Okay, as we have already done the discussion about it. When we are eating the food, okay, the mastication of the food by the teeth is known as what? Physical digestion of the food, in which only the structure of the food is changing from one structure to other structure. And if we are saying that there is a chemical digestion, that means there is a change in chemical. Okay, the structure of food will change chemically, and that can be done by enzymes. Yes, so both type of digestion occurs in our mouth, that is physically and chemically. Physically by the mastication and chemically by the enzyme. Okay, the next point is what? Masticated food along with saliva is known as bolus. Yes, now the food which we are having in our mouth after the mastication, after the mixing with the saliva, now it is known as what? Bolus. Okay, now the next is what? Just say saliva contains salivary amylase which can digest carbohydrate of the bolus. We have already done the discussion in the previous video that our mouth is containing what? Is having the salivary gland which used to release saliva. Okay, and this saliva is responsible to digest carbohydrate. Yes, you are correct, because carbohydrate digestion starts in mouth itself, right? So the saliva is having one enzyme which is known as salivary amylase, which works on the carbohydrate. But don't you think that the whole carbohydrate will be digested in the mouth? Why it is not possible? Because food stays in the mouth for a very short period of time. That's why there is the digestion, but incomplete digestion of the what? Carbohydrate. Not the whole carbohydrate which is present in the food will be digested. Okay, the next is what? Just see, bolus swallowed by the tongue to esophagus and then to stomach by peristalsis movement. Okay, now the process of partial digestion is over in the mouth. Now the bolus will be swallowed by the tongue, and where it will move? It will move to food pipe. Yes, esophagus. Okay, and from the esophagus it will move to what? Stomach. Yes, of course, because after the esophagus there is a stomach. All right, so we can't press the food from the outside. There is a movement. Yes, we have talked about it. There is a movement, muscular movement, which is known as what? Peristalsis movement. Okay, next is what? Next we are having, just see here, stomach have 3 gastric glands on the basis of their position. Okay, now when the food will enter the stomach, right, and it will stay here for what? 3 to 4 hours. Okay, now up to that time the stomach will start digesting the what? Food. Okay, macromolecules into micromolecule. So for that, stomach is also having the what? Glands. Yes, we have seen that there are 3 glands on the basis of their position. That was the fundus, pyloric and cardiac, and all these 3 glands will secrete what? Gastric juice. Yes, you are very correct. Gastric juice, which is having the mucus, FCL and pepsin. All right, but this pepsin is the active form of the enzyme. Inactive form is what? Pepsinogen. Yes or no? Pepsinogen. So all this type of secretion, okay, the food is getting in the stomach by the gastric gland. Now we will see the next topic here. Okay, stomach also shows physical and chemical digestion. Right, that means not only our mouth but stomach is also showing the physical and chemical digestion. Physical digestion is a churning movement of the what? Inner wall of the stomach, that is rugae. Yes, correct, rugae. The rugae, the internal finger like projection on the lining, which is showing the churning movement, and this is also, this is also masticating the food. They are breaking the food into even smaller pieces. So that is known as what? Physical digestion of the stomach. Now chemical digestion by means of this what? Secretions of the gland. Yes. Next, just see protein digestion start in the stomach, whereas there is no digestion of carbohydrate. Yes, protein digestion can't take place in the mouth. Why? Because there is no protein digestive enzyme in the mouth. But there is the digestion, but there is a, what? Protein digestive enzymes in the stomach, and that's why protein digestion starts from the stomach. Okay, so that's we are having now here pepsinogen, okay, which is the inactive form of the protein digestive enzyme, which will be activated by HCl, okay, to pepsin. And now this pepsin will work on the what? Protein. Yes, proteins. Okay, the mucus is there which will lubricate the inner lining of the stomach, so that this acid can't harm the what? Can't harm the inner lining of the stomach. Okay, and it is clearly written, just see, there is no digestion of what? Carbohydrate. Okay, because no carbohydrate digestive enzymes are present in the stomach. All right, so this is all about the important points which we have discussed. Okay, the next we have to see what? Say the reaction of protein. It is just for the revision that we have seen in the last video. Okay, so first of all, pepsinogen will be converted into pepsin by means of HCl, and as the pepsinogen will convert into active form, this will act on the what? Protein. Okay, all right, now just see the second one is what? Prorenin. I told you that prorenin is the what? Is that milk protein, milk digesting protein. Okay, the milk protein digesting enzymes, prorenin will also be activated by HCl to renin. Now this renin and pepsin will act on the what? Proteins. Okay, and they will finally convert the protein into amino acid. But again the same thing. All right, the all proteins, okay, which are present in our food can't be digested completely in the stomach. Okay, and for the further digestion it has to move to the what? Next part of our alimentary canal. Yes, very good. That is what? The next part after the stomach? Small intestine. Yes, so we are going to see about the small intestine now. Now just see, here we are having the small intestine. What I have written, just see on the screen. Small intestine is the site for both digestion and absorption, which collect chyme, that is a semi-digested food from the stomach. Yes, now whatever the food which we are having, the semi-digested food we are having in the stomach after physical and chemical digestion is known as what? Chyme. Okay, as you can see in the second diagram here, it is written here acidic chyme. Now this acidic chyme will enter to the duodenum from the stomach. Okay, as you can see in the first diagram, duodenum, jejunum, ileum, which is the part of what? Small intestine. So when the food, okay, when the chyme, right, that partially digested food will enter from the stomach to the duodenum, here the duodenum, okay, which is the first part of the small intestine, will receive bile, as you can see, from the liver, okay, that is from the gallbladder, and pancreatic juice from the pancreas, as well as what? Intestinal juice from the inner lining of the intestine. That's why I have given both of the diagram here to make your concept clear. All right, now it is written in a book, it is written in the NCERT book, the reference, sorry, it is written there that stomach is regulating, okay, the entry of chyme from the stomach to the duodenum by means of a muscular sphincter which is present at the junction between the stomach and the duodenum. Okay, this is sphincter actually controlling the movement of chyme from the stomach to the duodenum. Okay, like a tap, as we are controlling the movement of the water from the tap, in the similar way, that is the sphincter present there. Okay, that is what? Muscular sphincter. All right, so this is very much clear now here, that is small intestine, which is made up of three parts: duodenum, jejunum, ileum. Okay, what this all three part which is making the small intestine. The first part will receive the what? Food, that is chyme, acidic chyme, that is the duodenum, from the stomach. And here in the duodenum it will get all the three types of secretion. Okay, that is what? Bile, intestinal juice, and pancreatic juice. It will become more clear from the next slide. Just see it here. Okay, secretion for digestion in small intestine. Now as you can see, the small intestine, which is getting all the three secretion: bile from the liver, pancreatic juice from the pancreas, and intestinal juice from the intestinal wall. All this secretion will come to the what? Duodenum. Okay, now how they are helpful for the digestion, that we will see in the next slide. Okay, just see the very first topic here, bile. What the bile will do. Okay, I have told you several times that bile is not playing a direct role in the food digestion. So why? What it is doing there? Why it is present there? Actually, the bile is playing a very important role. Without bile, there will be no further digestion of food, okay, after the stomach. Why? Because when the chyme will enter the what? Duodenum, this chyme is present. This chyme is making the what? Completely acidic medium. All right, and this acidic medium is not at all allowing the pancreatic juice, okay, to digest the what? Carbohydrate, protein, or fat, which is present in the what? Semi-digested chyme. Okay, so what the bile is doing, as I have written the very first point here, emulsification of fat. Actually, bile is having some types of salt. Okay, there is no need to go in detail. The name is also there, that is bilirubin and biliverdin. Okay, the two type of salts are there, but there is no need to go in detail. It is just for your knowledge. Okay, actually these two salts are emulsifying the fat. Now what is emulsification? Emulsification means breaking of larger fat droplets into very small droplets. Okay, so that fat can easily be digested, so that pancreatic juice can work on the fat droplets. Okay, and it can digest the fat. So the very first thing is what? Bile is emulsifying the fat. Second, make the medium alkaline so that pancreatic juice can act upon the chyme. Actually, pancreatic juice, all right, can't work in the acidic medium. Okay, so bile has to first change the acidic medium into alkaline medium, so that pancreatic juice can act upon the remaining protein, fat, and carbohydrate. Okay, the next we are having stop the action of gastric enzyme, because now there is a role of pancreatic juice, intestinal juice. Okay, that's why bile will stop the function of gastric enzyme there. So all these three important function is process, or the function is doing by the what? Bile. Okay, as you can see in the diagram also, it is showing the inner section of the what? Duodenum. Okay, all right, the next what we have to see, the pancreatic juice. Yes, pancreatic juice, which are secreting from the pancreas and reaching to the duodenum. Okay, what I have written is, see, pancreatic juice contain all the enzymes which can digest protein, fat, and carbohydrate. Yes, because in small intestine is that portion of the alimentary canal, okay, which is completing the digestion. Because after small intestine there will be no digestion, there will be only absorption. Okay, so means first there will be digestion up to the small intestine, and then there will be starting of what? Absorption. So whatever the digestion is there will have to complete. Okay, it have to complete up to the small intestine. So pancreatic juice, okay, is that enzyme, as we can say, is that juice which is containing all the three types of digestive enzyme: protein digesting, fat digesting, and what? Carbohydrate digesting. Okay, now the next we see what is given here: amylase for carbohydrate, lipase for fat, and trypsin for protein. So this is the three enzymes which are present in the pancreatic juice: amylase to digest carbohydrate, lipase to digest fat, and trypsin to digest what? Protein. Okay, this is about the what? Pancreatic juice. But all these things can be activated only when the medium will convert into alkaline medium, from acidic to alkaline medium, and that is doing by what? Bile itself. Okay, now just see the next we are having intestinal juice. What the intestinal juice is doing? All right, what I have written, just see, intestinal juice activate protein digestive enzymes, okay, of pancreatic juice. Because in the very beginning I told you, whatever the protein digestive enzymes are, our alimentary canal is having, all are present in complete inactive form, because if they will present in active form, they can digest our own body protein. Okay, and to prevent this condition, they have to be present in the inactive form. So of course the pancreatic juice is also having the what, inactive protein digestive enzyme, which had to be converted into active, and it can be done by, yes, intestinal juice. So intestinal juice is converting or activating the protein digestive enzyme of pancreatic juice, and also contain carbohydrate digestive enzyme like maltase, sucrase and lactase. Okay, so intestinal juice, what it will do, it will convert the protein digestive inactive enzyme into active one, and then it will also have what, it is also having the carbohydrate digestive enzyme, which is given here, maltase, sucrase and lactase. Here I have shown the diagram, that is the anatomy of small intestine, that is a section cutting of the small intestine. Okay, to show you the inner section of the what, intestine, I just want to show you the intestinal gland here. Okay, as you can see, the intestinal gland. Okay, now the next we are having what, reaction for protein digestion in small intestine. Okay, how can be protein digested in the small intestine? So see, first of all, trypsinogen. Okay, trypsinogen is a protein which is present in the pancreatic juice. All right, it has to be converted, okay, into active form. So it will do by the what, it will done by the intestinal juice. Intestinal juice will convert the trypsinogen into trypsin. Okay, second reaction, see, chemotrypsinogen is the another type of protein digestive enzyme of the pancreatic juice. Okay, now the trypsinogen which has converted into trypsin, now this trypsin will convert the chemotrypsinogen to chymotrypsin. Okay, and then again procarboxypeptidase, okay, another protein digestive enzyme, will convert into active form carboxypeptidase by means of this trypsin. So first of all, trypsinogen will convert into trypsin, and then this trypsin will convert this chemotrypsinogen procarboxypeptidase to the active form, that is what, chemotrypsin and carboxypeptidase. Now this trypsin will act on the protein, it will change into large peptides. Okay, large peptides. Again, just see, protein, converted by what, chemotrypsin into large peptide. Okay, elastines are the fibrous protein, okay, which will acted upon by elastase, the protein digestive enzyme, and again convert into large peptides. And now all these large peptides will finally convert to amino acid by means of what, carboxypeptidase. Carboxypeptidase, because it is peptides, so the enzyme will be carboxypeptidase. Okay, all the enzyme names are ending with ASE. Okay, this is the recognition of what, enzymes, that all enzymes name ends with what, ASE. Okay, so this is the reaction for protein digestion. I have given this reaction in your notes. Okay, next we will see what, reaction for fat digestion in a small intestine. Okay, as in the beginning I told you that pancreatic juice is having all type of digestive enzyme, protein, fat and carbohydrate. So now we will see the fat. For fat, first of all, it has to be what, it has to be emulsified. Okay, so first of all, bile will emulsify the fat, as you can see in the reaction, and it will become emulsified fat. Now this emulsified fat will acted upon by lipase, okay, which is present in pancreatic juice, and this lipase will convert the emulsified fat into fatty acid. Yes, into what, fatty acid. Okay, now the next, see, the fatty acid is a what, this is a micromolecule. Fat is a macromolecule and fatty acid is a micromolecule. Now next we are having reaction for carbohydrate digestion in a small intestine. Okay, so whatever the carbohydrate is left now for the digestion will be digested completely by the what, small intestine, by means of the pancreatic juice. Okay, the pancreatic juice which is having the pancreatic amylase. Just see, first of all, starch by means of pancreatic amylase will convert into maltose. Okay, maltose is a form of what, carbohydrate. Now this maltose will be acted upon by maltase. It will change the maltose into glucose, which is a micromolecule. Yes or no? Micromolecule. And now sucrose, okay, lactose. All this maltose, sucrose, lactose are the partially digested carbohydrate, which has to change into complete micromolecule, that is glucose. Okay, so maltose will be acted upon by maltase, sucrose will be acted upon by sucrase, and lactose will be acted upon by lactase, and all this change into what? Glucose. Okay, I have already given in that diagram, right, that maltase, sucrase, lactase are present in the intestinal juice. Okay, intestinal juice. All right, so first pancreatic juice will convert the starch into maltose, okay, and then maltose will be converted into glucose. All right, and sucrose and lactose directly will be converted into what? Glucose by means of sucrase and lactase. So this is all about the what? Digestion. Okay, this is the complete digestion, right, up to the small intestine. Because next there will be what? Absorption. The next topics which we have to study is the absorption, assimilation and egestion. क्योंकि अब तो हो गया डाइजेशन, अब इसको एब्सॉर्ब कैसे करेगा अपना बॉडी, राइट, दैट वी हैव टू सी. Okay, so that we will see in the next part, in the next video. So please go through the videos, go through the chapter, okay, and whatever the points which we are not discussing here, okay, I'll make important points and then I'll upload the video after completing the absorption, assimilation and egestion. Okay.
Wow, Mama.